Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to learn EVS chapter number 9, Up You Go. So in this chapter we are going to learn everything related to mountains, how we can climb the mountains, what all difficulties we can face, what all things we have to carry, then what all things we require like ropes, slings, sticks, torch, whatever things we require, what all difficulties we will face, how we will reach to certain height. Each and everything we will learn in this chapter. So in this chapter, the lady is there. Her name is Sangeeta. She's sharing her experience, how they went to the mountains, how she have faced difficulty. Each and everything she have described in this chapter. So let's begin. 2nd February 1984, Mountaineering Camp. So here, this was the day of 2nd February. Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. We were at the mountaineering camp and were very excited. 20 of us were teachers from Kendriya Vidyalayas. There were other women from banks and other institutes. So here, they all were very excited. They were very happy for going for camp. And there were 20 teachers, from Kendriya Vidyalaya. So this was teachers, these 20 women were the teachers and they were from Kendriya Vidyalaya. And rest were from other banks and other institute. Today was the second day of the camp. In the morning, as I got out of bed and put my foot down, I screamed in pain. I remembered yesterday's 26-kilometer walk with a heavy rucksack on my back. I was afraid to go back to the steep climb and the rough, narrow path. So now was the second day. First day of camp was over. Now it was second day. So what happened when she got up from bed and put her leg down, she started to scream. Loudly she was shouting. And why she was shouting? Because her leg were paining. And then she remembered when her leg were paining, she remembered that they have walked 26 kilometers yesterday. And with heavy rucksack. Rucksack means bag, And in that each and everything we have to carry for going to mountain, because there you don't find anything. No food, no water. Means hardly you can see anything in the mountains. So you require many things like torch, rope, sling, hooks, bags. These all things you require for climbing the mountain. So you have to carry each and everything you require. So the bag was heavy. And then you have to, and they have walked 26 kilometers. So that's why her legs were paining. And she was very afraid to go again to the steep climb and rough, narrow path. Means she was very afraid to go again to that part. With the tears in my eyes, I started walking towards the room of Brigadier Gyan Singh, the director of our adventure course. I was thinking of what I should say to excuse myself from that day's track. Suddenly, I heard his deep voice from behind. So because of pain, she started crying and she started walking to the room of the director. The name of the director of this adventure was Brigadier Gyan Singh. As she was going, and she was thinking that what excuse, what reason shall I give for not going to the trekking today. So while she was going, suddenly his voice only came from behind. Ma'am, what are you doing here at breakfast time? Hurry up, otherwise you will have to trek on an empty stomach. So now Brigadier Gyan Singh told that what you are doing here, it is breakfast time. And if you will miss your breakfast, you have to do the tracking empty stomach. Sir, I could not say anymore. So here, the woman cannot say anything else. She just said, sir. You have came to tell me that you have blisters on your feet, that you cannot walk, isn't it? So Brigadier Gyan Singh is asking her that you have got blister on feet, means when you walk continuously wearing shoes, so the skin and the shoes rub each other. That's why you get rash or you get liquid type something, and that is called blister of feet. So he's saying that that's why you cannot walk, isn't it? Yes, sir, that is nothing new. Now get ready quickly. So the Brigadier Gyan, and she said, yes, this is the reason. So Brigadier Gyan Singh said, it is nothing. Because he knows while climbing mountains or for the first time, this all things happen. So he's saying nothing. Go and get ready. I hung my head and rushed back to get ready. I had just done when I heard his voice again. Listen, ma'am, you will lead group number 7. You will have to help any member who has difficulty climbing the mountain. You have already been told about the responsibility of a group leader in the mountains. So when Brigadier Gyan Singh said it is nothing, go get ready, so she turned her head, and as she was going, so the voice again came. So Brigadier Gyan Singh gave him the responsibility of group number 7. Okay, and he said that you have to help everyone, and rest of the duty you might be knowing only because in camp it is already been told that what all responsibility are there in the group. Tell, have you ever seen the mountains? Have you also climbed a mountain? When and where? So here the question is asked that have you seen any climb mountain? So you have to write yes if you have seen, no if you have not seen. Then you have to write that if you have climbed any mountain, okay, yes or no, when and where. And if you have seen and you have climbed, then you have to write which place and where. How far have you walked at one time? How far can you walk? Okay, so once might be any reason, so you have walked so long. Okay, so you can write your experience here and your capability, that how much you can walk at one time or in one day. Imagine, what do you think about the paths on the mountains? Draw a picture. Okay, so you have to imagine how mountains are. Okay, how roads are there, and you have to draw the picture. A big responsibility. I started thinking about what a leader must do. So here she's thinking and recalling what all responsibility are there of the leader when they were told in the camp. Help others in carrying their bags. Let the group go ahead and keep to last. Help those who cannot climb properly. Find a good place to stop and rest. Look after those who are not well. Arrange for food for the group. Okay, so first what they have to do, they have to help. If anyone's bag is very heavy, the leader has to help them. Then first all members should go, and at last the group leader has to go, that nobody is left or something. Okay, help those who cannot climb properly. So you have to help if anybody is not able to climb. If any reason is there, the leader has to go and help. Then you have to find a good place where all group member can sit, have food, they can rest. Okay, then you have to look if anyone is not well, sick, ill, something, then the group leader has to help. And if any group member is not having food or something, if they have to find food from anywhere, so the leader has to take the responsibility. The most important thing is to be ready to be punished even when someone else may have made a mistake. So here the most important thing was that they has to get ready. If any member does anything, misbehave, mischief, or do any harm to anything, the first responsibility is of the leader, not of that member. First, the leader has to also listen on the behalf of that group member. I realized that there was a special kind of discipline here. I wondered whether the camp will still be fun. So here she is saying that it is very disciplined, means very strict, and rules are followed very properly. So she is thinking, in this situation, can there be a fun? Okay. Group number 7. So here the group information is shared of number 7. Group number 7 include girls from Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. I was the only teacher from Kendriya Vidyalaya in this group. I was happy to meet my new group members. Most of them could not speak Hindi well. I still feel bad that after being together for 21 days, I could not talk even once with Kondobi from Mizoram. She spoke only Mizo, but in our hearts we grew close to each other. So here in this group number 7, which this lady was the leader. So these girls were from Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Meghalaya and Nagaland. So, and she was the only one woman from the Kendriya Vidyalaya school. Rest were all from other states. So she was happy to meet them, but at the same time she was little bit unhappy because she could not speak to them with their language, and they could not also speak in Hindi. So there was language barrier with them. But still she is saying that with heart we were connected to one another. And she was very unhappy at one thing, that one girl from Mizoram, her name was Kondobi, she could not talk to her even once in her language. Tell, what do you think about the responsibility of a group leader? So here you have to write that what you think about the responsibility of a group leader, how you feel, how it is difficult, easy, what all things to face. You have to write here. How would you feel if you are made a leader in such camp? Okay, so you have to share the feeling, that how you feel, happy, sad, nervous, excited, proud. So you have to write your answer. What does a monitor in your class have to do? So each and every students, you might know what all responsibility are there of the monitor, because you in class you have observed each and every monitor. So you have to write your answer, that what a class monitor do. Would you like to be the class monitor? Why? So here you have to share your own experience, that you want to be a class monitor, yes or no. If your answer is yes, why you want to be? No, then why you don't want to be? Crossing the river. We got vitamin C, iron tablets and hot chocolate milk with our breakfast. These were given for strength and keep us warm in the cold. Every morning there would be the medical checkup. We tied up bandages and counted the days left. Okay, so here this woman is sharing us the experience, that how they crossed the river. Okay, so first she's saying that they got vitamin C, iron tablets and hot chocolate milk. Okay, why this was given? To give them energy, strength and keep them warm. Okay, because there was very cold in mountain, and in mountain areas mostly there is cold weather. So these all things they get in their breakfast. And after that she is saying that after breakfast every day they have to do the medical checkup. If anyone is having any problem, if they can do the further mountaineering things, activities, so they has to first do the medical checkup after the breakfast. And she is saying that we would tie bandages. Okay, so climbing the mountain is not easy. They get hurt from rocks, stones, anything. Okay, so daily some or the other place they get the wound. So she's saying that they tied the bandages and they were counting the days, that how many days are still left for this camp. After an 8-kilometer trek, we reached a river. There was a thick rope tied across the river from one bank to the other. The rope was tightly fixed to the pegs or pattens on both the sides. I was feeling nervous. I started thinking what would happen if the rope came out. I was trying to estimate how wide the river was. Okay. Now they have trekked 8 kilometers. Okay. So after that, they reached the river place. Then a rope was tied. Okay, from one bank to other side. Okay, and it was tied with pegs and pattens. Big hook is there on that. This rope was tied from one end to other. She was very nervous. Okay, she was feeling very worried. So she was thinking if this rope will come out from these hooks, pegs. Okay, and she was estimating that how long this river is. Our instructor tied a rope around his vest and put a sling type of hook in it. He then put the sling on the thick rope tied across the river. Walking through the icy water, he went to the other side. No one was ready to step into the fast-flowing river. Everyone was pushing each other to go first. I stood last in the line, hoping that no one would see me. Just then our instructor came near me with the sling and the rope in his hands. I knew there was no escape now. I was ready, but did not have the courage. Sir could catch my fears. He called out loudly, 3 cheers for Sangeeta ma'am. And before I knew it, somebody had gently pushed me into the water. So there was an instructor. Okay, so in group, leader is there. Okay, group is formed, leader is there, and one instructor is there who teaches them, instruct them, guide them that how they have to climb this all things. So there the instructor, what he did, he tied the rope, okay, on his vest, and he put the sling and he crossed the river. Okay, and that water in the river was very icy, means it was very cool, and from one end to other side he went. Now no one was ready. Okay, this group number 7 girls were not ready to go in this water because water was very icy and they were very scared of this river, crossing the river. Okay, so each other were pushing one another and they made the line. So here this woman, what she went backside and she was standing there. But what happened when she was standing last? Her instructor came to her only. So now she thought now there was no escape for her. So now she thought that now she has to go. So she got ready. Then the instructor told everyone to 3 cheers for Sangeeta ma'am. Okay, the woman who is sharing us the experience, her name is Sangeeta. And when she realized that she has to go, already someone has pushed her into the river water. I felt as if my feet were frozen. I started shivering, my teeth were chattering. I caught hold of the rope and started putting my feet firmly on the river bed. As I walked further in, the river got deeply and slowly the water reached up to my neck. In the middle of the river, I lost my balance and started slipping. I was so scared and felt so cold that the rope slipped from my hands. I started shouting for help. So her feet became frozen because the water was very cold, very icy. Okay, so her feet were frozen and she was shivering. Okay, she was feeling very cold and voice were coming from her teeth. It was because she was shivering. So she caught the rope and she started putting her leg in the river, and she was walking further. As she was going further and further, the level was becoming deeper and deeper for her. Now the water came to her till neck. And then what happened? That she got so scared and she was feeling so happy. She was very frightened. And she was very feeling cold. So the rope which was in her hand slipped. So she was shouting for help. I was sure I would be carried away by the river, but no, I found that I was tied the rope to the sling. Hold the rope, hold the rope. I could hear the shouts. I somehow managed to get hold of the rope and pull myself forward slowly with some courage. I reached the river bank. I felt a special kind of place as I came out of the water. Happiness on finishing a challenging task. Now standing on the bank, I was calling out to others to hold the rope tightly. I knew that this confidence was a result of facing a challenge with courage. So now when her rope was slipped from her hand, so now she was thinking that she might carried away in this water, and she was flow with the water. But no, her instructor had tied the rope on her vest also, so the rope from her hand was only slipped. Otherwise she was standing there only. So the other girls and the instructor were shouting that hold the rope. So she heard that voice and somehow she managed to again catch the rope which was slipped from her hand. Slip means fallen from her hand. So she managed, and now she courageously further moved. Okay. Then when she reached the river bank, now she was very happy because she have completed her task, and the task was very challenging. So after completing, she was happy also, and now she was instructing to others girls that hold the rope tightly, and now she has confidence, okay, and courage also. Why? Because she has already completed the task, she has the experience, and now she is sharing this thing to other girls. Find out and write what kinds of tools are needed for climbing the mountains. Okay, so what all things you require? So you require rope, sling, hooks, packs, then torch, stick, then food item, water, etc. These all things you require for climbing a mountain. Have you ever seen a hook and a rope being used for anything elsewhere? So you have to answer where the hooks and ropes are being used. Okay, except mountaineering camps. What else can you use if you want to cross the river in the mountains? So here you can write, you can use stick, or the bridges are built. Bridges are built to cross the mountains river. Why do we need extra energy on the mountain? So we require extra energy because we have to climb the mountain. For climbing the mountain we need extra energy. That's why we need extra energy for climbing the mountain. Have you ever need extra energy have you ever heard of anyone who has done something adventurous? What? So you have to share the experience, that have you ever seen any person or you know the story of anyone. Have you ever done anything adventurous? If yes, tell your class, right in your own words. So you have to share the experience of yourself. If anyone of you have done anything adventurous or something extraordinary, so you have to tell this thing to your classmate. So here I finish my part 1. We'll continue further chapter in part 2. Till then, Allah Hafiz.